You kept saying the 27th of March. That's why.
Sorry.
Okay. Duly corrected. Thank you. And then at paragraph 8, you indicate that you then received a formal letter appointing you as the acting chief of police. And in fact, that paragraph correctly reflects the period.
Correct.
As 27 January 2023 to 5th February 2023.
Correct,
and then you attach a copy of that appointment letter as RS1. Is that correct? You can go to the big file, and the document that you have marked RS1 should appear at page 1 of that file.
That is correct, Commissioners.
Thank you. Commissioner Kumar?
Can I ask a silly question for my benefit? How do we address the witness? Does he retain the title Commissioner after retirement?
That's a tough one for me, Commissioner.
Maybe he can answer.
Perhaps the witness can answer for himself.
If that's the title, then we will respect it throughout.
Commissioner, I did retire, but after my retirement, I was re-employed again into the Tshwane Metro Police, and I am again a commissioner in the Tshwane Metro Police. So,
thank you.
Commissioner is correct.
So, as things stand, you are back in the service, except with the Tshwane Metropolitan Police Department. Is that correct? Correct,
Commissioner.
And that was from which date?
From the 2nd of March 2025.
Thank you. You're getting into the testimony you're about to give. Your first chapter is headed Investigation into Alleged Misuse of Blue Lights and Empd Resources. You see that? It starts from paragraph 9. Before you deal with the contents of paragraphs 9 and following, I would like to bring to your attention that Chief Mapieye, who is the current commissioner within the Empd, has touched on some of these issues. So to the extent that perhaps there might be interruption, please accept that. The commissioners have been part informed about these matters. However, there will be no attempt to restrict the testimony you would like to give in regard to this matter. I just wanted to bring that to your attention because you were not present when he was testifying. With that caution, then, I would invite you to consider from paragraph 9, paragraph 9, and you can lead the commissioners through this part of your testimony. And to the extent that you are able to speak to these paragraphs, not necessarily read them, I would suggest that would be most effective. Thank you. If you can.
Thank you, Commissioners. As I stated earlier, I was acting as the Chief of Police for that period. And on the 2nd of February, Lieutenant Colonel Kelebogile Tipa, who was appointed as the media spokesperson for the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department, forwarded the email to me, which originated from a journalist from News 24, Mr. Jeff Wicks. And it pertains to 5 questions that started off with questions about blue lights, regulatory use of it, and to who it may be issued. Attached to this email was also a memorandum on an Empd letterhead, which purports to be a to whom it may concern letter, and wherein a list of vehicles was listed that these vehicles is our vehicles. I was, at that specific moment, I was in a meeting, but she sent me a WhatsApp as well, wherein she said to me, I actually first read the WhatsApp before I read the email. Because on the WhatsApp she says, yes, 2 video clips, this relates to the email. And I then read the email, and in the email there was questions then wherein there was allegations that there was a video clip where vehicles is being used in a convoy using blue lights and sirens. And then also a clip where there's vehicles that is at a small little airport with an airplane in the background. I immediately, while I was even reading the email, I started to draft the answers to the questions itself. Like the first one is a very easy answer because it asked what is the regulations and the legal situation around the use of blue lights, where I actually just copied and pasted the National Road Traffic Act's regulation pertaining to the use of blue lights. And it stepped further deep in where I finished drafting all the answers to it. I then sent that draft answers, I sent it back to Lieutenant Colonel Kelebogile Tipa, and I also CC'd the Chief's Staff Officer, Colonel Ivan du Plessis. The reason I obviously CC him is that because I'm acting chief, I must keep his office so that they know what everything is happening, what I'm doing. And I started then a process immediately thereafter of following up, because in this letter, the allegation of the vehicles, there's allegations that these vehicles belong to us. I immediately contacted Colonel Madeleine Bloemhoff, who is heading our fleet section and pounds section in the logistical support section. And I requested her telephonically, can you immediately check for me if these vehicles belong to us? And I gave her the registration numbers. She checked and verified on our internal asset register, and she immediately informed me that none of these vehicles belong to us. It's not council vehicles at all. And I also then there was another letter which purports also to whom it may concern, which leads to a specific individual, C.J. Smith, who also stated that this person works for us and is doing work with us. And so I also contacted a Colonel Wanda van Rooyen, who is, at that stage, she was the Metro Police HR liaison person, and she had access to the employee database, which we call PILO. That's the name of the database. And she then confirmed, and to me as well telephonically, that we don't have a Metro Police officer with the name of C.J. Smith employed by us. And I then go forward, and I said to Lieutenant Colonel Kelebogile Tipa that she can release the media release, because we've confirmed it's not our vehicles, it's surely sideline issues, and she can release the media release. She telephonically contacted me a short while later to say, but the journalist has just contacted her back and stated that he has got NATIS. NATIS is a National Traffic Information System where vehicles are registered on, is that he's got NATIS proof that these vehicles are indeed registered in our name. And she then provided me, and I then actually started to immediately look at it and say, but this is very serious now. And I then formulated a letter and a formal instruction to the head of our internal affairs, Lieutenant Colonel Henny Erasmus, wherein I gave him instruction to say that he must immediately start to investigate this matter. It's very critical, and that he must also not delegate it, because the allegations is against the brigadier, which is a senior rank, and I don't want him to delegate it to a junior constable or anything like that in the internal affairs to investigate.
Chief, if I may, before you get into the detail of the actual investigation that was carried out, listening to you, you would have dealt in large part with those paragraphs up to paragraph 18. I would like to take you back to paragraph 12. At paragraph 12, you reference a second letter that was received via WhatsApp from this Mr. Yako Hanekom. Who is Yako Hanekom?
Mr. Yako Hanekom, and I will later my testimony touch on Mr. Yako Hanekom again. He was part of a group of what in my mind today with hindsight is a rogue group of officers that was dealing together with our specialized services. But he was a security officer, and he was at a later stage, he was killed in a attempted hit or hijacking incident. So Mr. Yako Hanekom, at that same day during this exercise, he gave me the information via WhatsApp, where he sent this letter, which is exactly the same format that states to whom it may concern, and it's signed off by Julius Makwanasi as the deputy chief that this employee allegedly works for us.
Now, Mr. Yako Hanekom, at the time he shared this letter with you via WhatsApp, was he a member of the EMPD or not?
No, he's a private individual that worked for a security company.
You then say this, This is a confirmation letter of work collaboration with a civilian, Mr. C.J. Smith, and the EMPD truck hijacking unit. You see that as your paragraph 12.
Correct.
You then proceed to state there is no such approved unit. Would you
Correct.
care to speak to that? Why do you say there is no such an approved unit?
In the structure of the Metro Police, under the Division Operations and Specialized Services, there are 5 subsections, which 3 of them is regional policing with the 3 regions, headed by a brigadier, which is a director title, but with a brigadier rank. There's a brigadier bylaws, and then there's a director brigadier specialized services. Under specialized services, there are units, and those units, which is formally on the structure, which exists and it's operating as units. There is, for instance, a speed law enforcement unit, there's an overload unit, there's a public order policing unit, there's a VIP protection unit, there is the K9 and the question unit that work under that. There's, however, no truck hijacking unit ever that have existed on that. There is no such thing on the structure.
Thank you. If you look at your statement, as I indicated, you had spoken to matters you cover up to paragraph 18. Do you confirm that you've covered everything in those paragraphs?
Correct. Maybe if I can just add that when Kilabugile Tipa informed me that it's on notice, we also confirmed that these vehicles have been obviously registered by our corporate fleet proxy, Mr. Chris Stein, because he's the one that complete the forms and make sure that it can get registered on the notice system.
When you say he's a vehicle proxy, could you expound? What does that mean?
In terms of notice, the owner of a vehicle is normally a natural person, but when it comes down to a company or a municipality, a representative is appointed in terms of the National Road Traffic Act, which is then the main representative is called the proxy. He acts as the person to do all the business on behalf of the company or the municipality. And you also have a proxy and representatives because it's the proxy office actually, but the proxy for the city of Ekurhuleni is Mr. Chris Stein.
And in that paragraph where you reference Mr. Chris Stein, you say Lieutenant Colonel Tipa informed me that she had received information suggesting that 3 of the vehicles on the list were in fact registered with the EMPD, right?
Correct, Commissioner.
It is the choice of wording I want us to discuss. You say she said she had received information suggesting that they were so registered. Is there confirmation? Are you aware of any before you left? Did you become aware of any confirmation as to whether or not they were in fact registered?
Yes, Commissioners. At the moment, that same day when she phoned me, we were speaking about 3 vehicles. However, after I gave Colonel Erasmus instruction to start investigating this matter, within the next week we already discovered that it's actually 4 vehicles that have been formally registered on our name by using the papers of Mr. Chris Stein as the proxy. The papers and everything was obtained from him, and it was registered by Julius Makonasi at the Whiteville offices.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Spies, did Mr. Stein know anything about this registration? Did you find out whether he knew that these vehicles were registered and what were the circumstances?
Yes, Commissioner. Mr. Stein there was eventually a criminal matter registered and there was an internal disciplinary inquiry by my internal affairs done. In both cases, Mr. Stein gave affidavits to the effect that he actually supplied the papers and everything because Brigadier Julius Makonasi is a very senior person, approached him, informed him that there is a MOU with a company, Medicare 24 and CAT VIP Security, and that they have made a donation. So he took it on face value, and he made a submission that he actually provided the papers. He gave instruction that the clerk that deals with it, Ms. Deborah Moremi, that she can give the papers and everything to Brigadier Makonasi. So there is a formal confirmation that Chris Steyn made to say that he gave instruction to Deborah, and Deborah then also, there's a statement from her that she gave the papers to Makwanasi and them, and they then did it on their behalf.
Thank you. Mr. Should we not, for purposes of the record,
Yes, Commissioner.
reference the annexures? So from paragraph 9, you've got an RS21, and the witness has spoken to those questions, but you haven't referenced where we
Indeed.
find this, and so on as we go on.
I'm happy to. And I will take you back, Commissioner, to paragraph 9, particularly in light of the fact, and thanks Commissioner Baloyi for drawing my attention to it. These questions arose during the evidence of Chief Mapieye, and I specifically undertook that they shall be answered through you, Commissioner Spies. So before we deal with the actual investigations that were conducted on your instruction by Colonel Henny Erasmus, can we then deal with the original query that you received from Mr. Jeff Weeks? You deal with that at your paragraph 9, and you say at paragraph 9 that you attach a copy of the email you received from Mr. Weeks as annexure RS21. Do you see where I'm reading?
Correct, Commissioner.
Can I then invite you to RS21, or which would appear at page 2 of the annexures file?
Correct, Commissioner. It's got a large red number 2 and 3 on the top page. That is the original
Yes.
emails correspondence received from Jeff Weeks, which then have been forwarded by Kilebogile Tipat to me on 2nd February 10:51.
And it's a 2-page document, and it's actually a thread of communication, email communication. And as these things happen, the last email appearing is, the first email appearing is always the last communication. So to read, we start from the back and work our way forwards. So if there are 2, it would appear that the original email received from Mr. Jeff Weeks starts at the middle of page 2.
Correct, Commissioner. February 2/23, 10:40, 54 a.m.
And from this document, it would appear that it's sent by Jeff Weeks, and it is addressed to Kilebogile Tepa. You said earlier that this is Lieutenant Colonel Kilebogile Tepa, who was the media spokesperson for the EMPD.
Correct.
Could you take us through the contents then of this email, whose subject line is request for comment, News 24 investigations?
Commissioners, that it purports to be that Jeff Weeks then stated, "Good morning, Superintendent. Thank you for coming back to me so promptly." Even though her rank is Lieutenant Colonel, but the media addresses the Superintendent, I approach you today regarding a story that we are pursuing, which centers on a Pretoria-based security firm called CAT VIP. According to PSIRA is the security industry regulator, CAT Protection and Security PQY Ltd, trading as VIP Protection Services, with a PSIRA registration number of 2748723, is registered with the authority as a security service provider since 7 June 2018. He then stated, "I have in my possession correspondence under the letterhead of City of Ekurhuleni and the Metropolitan Police Department. It is dated 16 October 2021, and it is signed by Brigadier J.D. Makwanasi of Specialized Services. It's attached for your ease of reference. 2 videos from the social media page of Cordelia Kabeng, wife of Vusimusi Matlala, the owner of the aforementioned security company, have been sent to you via WhatsApp. In these videos, blue lights and a siren can be seen in operation. The letter appears to be one of authority for a private security firm to utilize equipment which the Road Traffic Act states should be the preserve of law enforcement." And then there's 5 questions. "Please confirm that my assertion regarding the Road Traffic Act prohibits the use of blue dash lights and sirens are for the exclusive use of law enforcement is correct. Please, can you explain the substance of the letter from Makwanasi, How does this private firm assist EMPD officers in any VIP protection and security services? And please could you supply me with a copy of the Memorandum of Understanding as mentioned in this letter? Do you acknowledge that it is uncommon for private security companies to have this authority bestowed upon them? And can you please describe the relationship between the EMPD and Mr. Madlala, inter alia his company, as we will assert that this is proof of connections of undue influence in a law enforcement body? The last one is not a question, just please feel free to add anything which may be pertinent.
Thank you. And it appears to emanate from News 24 and does indicate it's from Jeff Wicks, investigative journalist.
Correct, Commissioner.
Going back then to page 2, at the top of that page. This is an email of the same date, February the 2nd, 2023 at 10:51. It appear 10 minutes after the first one was sent to to Lieutenant Colonel Tepa. And it's addressed to you, Rivers Peace.
Correct, Commissioner.
And can you deal with that email, please?
This is the email that was sent from Kelebogile Tepa to me as the acting chief. She included Liesel Tyers, who was the secretary of the chief of police, and Ivan du Plessis, who was the staff officer of the chief of police. And it says, "Good morning, Commissioner. The subject matter refers. Please find the attached inquiry forwarded to the department for comment. I wish to respond, but think this would be better guided by the office. There are video footages forwarded on WhatsApp to me by the journalist, which will be furnished to you, sir. Kindly assist in the responses sought. Thanking you in anticipation of a prompt response. Regards," and then just the initials KT.
Thank you. Can we then turn to your paragraph 11 and the annexure that you deal with in that paragraph? You have labeled it RS2 Roman 2 in brackets. Can you summarize what that document is, please?
Commissioners, that is the letter that I referred to, which is on an official letterhead of the City of Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department as a memorandum, and it states that it is addressed to whom it may concern. It's from J.D. Makwenazi, the Acting Deputy Municipal Police Commissioner / Brigadier Specialized Services. The date is 16 October 2021. It's a letter of confirmation. This letter serves to confirm that the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department, EMPD, under the command of Acting Deputy Municipal Police Commissioner, Brigadier J.D. Makwenazi of Specialized Services, has an endless working relationship and memorandum of understanding with CAT VIP to assist EMPD officers in any VIP protection and security services in and out of the City of Ekurhuleni. These are the following vehicles that we work with. BMW, Delta Lima 03 Hotel Golf Papa, register number Tango Victor Sierra 906 Whiskey. The second one is a Mercedes-Benz Combi. Registration number is Juliet Papa 35 Juliet Whiskey Golf Papa. The register number Bravo Papa Victor 069 X-Ray. The third vehicle is a BMW station wagon. Registration number is Juliet Mike 62 X-Ray Mike Golf Papa. Register number Victor Foxtrot Juliet 152 Whiskey. The fourth vehicle is a VW with registration number Juliet Yankee 16 Delta Lima Golf Papa with a register number Hotel Tango Golf 489 Kilo. The fifth vehicle is a BMW, registration number Bravo Zulu 99 Charlie Kilo Golf Papa with a register number Romeo Mike Juliet 314 Whiskey. The sixth vehicle is a BMW with registration number Juliet Victor 09 Romeo Tango Golf Papa with a register number Whiskey Mike Foxtrot 576 Whiskey. And the last one is then a VW with registration number Kilo Bravo 09 Charlie Golf Papa with a register number Hotel Sierra Juliet 618 Kilo. It is signed, the signature is Makwanasi's signature, and it's stated then Acting Deputy Municipal Police Commissioner / Brigadier.
Thank you, Commissioner. If you could assist, I wonder if you can assist with some of the statements made in this document. Firstly, it's signed by J.D. Mkwanazi as Acting Deputy Municipal Police Commissioner / Brigadier. Is there such a title, firstly? And secondly, if you do recall, at the time of 15 October 2021, was Brigadier Mkwanazi the Acting Deputy Municipal Police Commissioner?
Commissioners, there is no such title. It must be understood that there's a HR title, which is a Deputy Chief of Police, and then there's a rank, which is Deputy Municipal Police Commissioner. You are appointed when someone is on leave. For instance, in this instance, Deputy Municipal Police Commissioner Goodman Mazolo, who was the Deputy Chief Operations and Specialized Services, was on official leave. And then Brigadier Makwanasi was appointed to act in his place. So when you act in a higher position, you act in the position. You don't act in the rank. You keep your own rank. So this whole line at the bottom is incorrect. But what I understand from that is that he's actually saying, I'm the acting deputy chief, and I'm signing it on behalf of that position. But I am a brigadier signing it on behalf of that position.
Thank you for that clarification. So if I understand you correctly, at the time, the Deputy Municipal Police Commissioner was Commissioner Mzolo.
Correct.
And it would appear that at the time that Brigadier Mkwanazi signed this document on the 15th of October 2021, Commissioner Mzolo was on leave and Brigadier Mkwanazi was appointed to act in his stead.
Correct, Commissioner.
With that understanding then, I would like to refer you to the start of this letter, the first paragraph. You state that it states, not you, I apologize. This letter serves to confirm that the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department, EMPD, under the command of the Acting Deputy Municipal Police Commissioner / Brigadier J.D. Mkwanazi of Specialized Services. Do you see where I'm reading?
Correct, Commissioner.
To your knowledge, under whose command is the EMPD at all times?
Under the Chief of Police, Commissioner Mapiye.
What is the Commission to understand of the phrase EMPD under the command of Acting Deputy Municipal Police Commissioner?
Commissioner, in my own opinion, that's a narcissistic remark where you assume command of something which is outside his scope.
So would I be correct in understanding that he had his own post as a brigadier, as the for specialized services?
Correct, Commissioners.
He happened to be the acting deputy commissioner.
Correct. He's the acting deputy chief of police.
Acting deputy chief of police.
Yes.
But even in that acting position, he could never, as the original holder of that office, claim command of the EMPD because that rests with the chief of police.
Correct.
Thank you. You then, yes, thank you, Commissioner.
Are you moving from the letter?
Yes, I'm moving from the letter.
Okay, maybe let me ask my question. Commissioner, at this point on the 18th of October 2021, Mr. Mkwanazi, or Brigadier Mkwanazi, says there is an endless working relationship, whatever he means by that, with CAT VIP. Was there a working relationship with CAT VIP at this point?
Commissioners, I do not know at that, obviously with hindsight and after investigations was done, I know now that there's certain things, but there was no working relationship with CAT VIP according to my knowledge at all the day when I received this letter. That's firstly.
Yes.
And secondly is that there is no such MOU in existence because part of my function as the Deputy Chief Auxiliary and Support Services was that there's also a repository of documents and records and archives that's with me, and all the MOUs that we have through the years signed, be it with AXA, the airports company, or with Emperors, or with cross-border permit, or with other cities around us. All those MOUs was in my possession and saved as the archive. There was no such MOU with a company. And then the third thing that I wanted to add is that there will never be allowed in law the Municipal Finance Management Act or any local government-related acts to have an endless working relationship with anyone. There is fixed terms to anything. There cannot be an endless working relationship with anyone. And maybe even as a joke, it doesn't even work in marriage. There cannot be an endless working relationship.
Thank you, Commissioner. Lastly, on this letter, in the very next line after that endless working relationship, he says a memorandum of understanding with that company to assist EMPD officers in any VIP protection and security services in and out of the city of Ekurhuleni. Do your officers provide services outside of VIP and protection and security services outside of the city of Ekurhuleni?
In terms of the South African Police Services Act, Chapter 12, where municipal police services are established, your jurisdiction is bound to your municipal area where you are appointed. But there is a sub-clause that states that unless there is an agreement with another local government to extend the area of your services. So the city of Ekurhuleni, when the municipal police was established on 16 February 2002, as part of our establishment then, we had a signed agreement with the city of Tshwane Metro Police and a signed agreement with the city of Johannesburg Metro Police. That's the three cities, because we were established at very similar times, that we would agree that we will assist one another upon request. So that would then imply that if there is let's say a very large incident or a riot or anything at that era in the city of Tshwane, they could request the city of Ekurhuleni, and then we would respond with resources and assist them to help there. And there's also obviously a clause where if you are in a pursuit of a vehicle or a crime, that you can exit your area on that. But that is the restriction that was placed on it in that era. Lately, where we are today, there are more agreements signed, like with the South African Police Service collaboration agreements, and where we cooperate with. And in Gauteng province, we have more agreements which has been signed and approved by the Premier, where we assist one another. But it's also always in planned operations. We do not have powers, for instance, to be a Ekurhuleni Metro Police and then we find information from an informant or on the street and then we respond to Soweto or we respond to Hammanskraal in the city of Tshwane and we follow up and we arrest people. We do not have that power at all, according to me.
And this letter, that very line that I've just read now, in and out of the city of Ekurhuleni, it seems to permit these vehicles to be anywhere in the country and maybe even outside of the country, because it says in and out of Ekurhuleni. And I understand you to be saying there is no basis in law or in agreement for that kind of access.
Yes, there is no basis in law or in agreement. The city itself, the Metro Police, do have a VIP protection unit. And that VIP protection unit obviously then provide to the principals, which is the mayor, the city manager, and the MMCs. They do provide protection services, a vehicle to them. If our mayor or our city manager or our MMCs would then go to, for instance, Tshwane for a G20 meeting,
and we dealt with that paragraph 12 a bit. To reference, this is a confirmation letter of work collaboration, you recall, with one certain Mr. C.J. Smith that was brought to your attention by Mr. Yako Hanekom. You recall?
Correct, Commissioner.
Then you attach in that respect a document that you have marked RS3. And that RS3 appears at page 5 of your annexes file.
Correct, Commissioner.
For the record, this is a document headed Confirmation Letter of Work Collaboration between EMPD THU and Mr. C.J. Smith, dated the 23rd of May 2022. Do you confirm?
Correct, Commissioners.
Commissioners, I confirm that this document is an annexure to Chief Mapie's statement, and he dealt with it, I would believe, fairly extensively.
That's the one you read into the
That's the
record
one I read into
yesterday.
the record yesterday
Thank
in
you.
full. So unless any questions arise from there, I don't think it's necessary for this witness to repeat. Commissioner Spears, you then, at paragraph 13, reference to video clips which Lieutenant Colonel Tepper shared with you, depicting a convoy of black vehicles, BMWs, Mercedes Viano minibus, traveling towards an airport, with a female voice in the background identifying herself as quote-unquote Mama Cat. The second clip showed the vehicles and a small aeroplane at the airport. These videos are marked RS4 and RS5 as part of your statement. Can I deal with this? Do you know where Lieutenant Colonel Tipper obtained these videos from? You say she forwarded them to you. My question is, do you know where she got them from?
I made an assumption that you got them from Jeff Weeks, the journalist, because in an email she stated that she will forward 2 video clips which relate to that same incident. So I am under the assumption that Colonel Tipper obtained it from Jeff Weeks as part of the media query, and she forwarded to me then to look at before I answer the draft media reply.
Okay.
I think just for the record, in the email itself, so if you go to page 10 of the annexures, that's where you find the email from Jeff Weeks. The second sentence, the second paragraph rather, says 2 videos from the social media page have
Correct.
been sent to you via WhatsApp.
Correct, Commissioner.
So we should understand that the same video clips that were forwarded to you by Colonel Tipper when she sent this media inquiry to you.
Correct, Commissioners.
I want us then to turn to paragraph 14 at page 6. Before we do so, Commissioner Baloyi has a question.
Yeah, we're not going to see these videos. Commissioner Kumalo says he was looking forward to seeing these videos.
We can and we will. We are very edgy this end because this commission unfortunately has had some boo-boos, and we wouldn't want to add to your woes this week. We'll try to locate them to make sure that we project them, but they are available as annexures, and hopefully we'll be able to make Commissioner Kumalo's day. We strive to impress.
All right, maybe let me ask my question then about paragraph 13. Doesn't depend on us viewing the videos. Commissioner, in that paragraph 13, there is description of these vehicles in the video, BMWs, Mercedes Viano minibus. And then when you look at page 4, which lists those vehicles and registration numbers, were you able to make out from the videos whether those vehicles are in any way connected with this list of vehicles? The registration numbers, at least, or model even?
No, Commissioner. The first video clip is and obviously I don't know the lady at all, but you can hear her speaking, and she sits in the back of the vehicle. And you can see it's a BMW because she sits at the back and recording through the windscreen they're traveling on a highway. You can see the blue lights is sucker or blue lights that are stuck to the windscreen at the front, and you can see the reflection of the blue lights against the surrounding and in the vehicle itself, and you can see the left passenger with black clothes on and a white shirt, and you can see slightly the driver. So it shows to the front inside the vehicle out, so you cannot see a registration number on that at all. And the second video clip, which is at the airport, it shows, you can see from an angle, you can see some of the vehicles at the apron, but it's from an angle that you cannot see a registration number up to the aeroplane steps itself that you cannot. So from these two video clips, I cannot directly link it to the actual list of vehicles, but I can see the Mercedes Viano at the airport, and I can see a BMW, but I cannot link the registration numbers from these two clips at all.
What is the concern, and I'm avoiding to use the word risk, about blue lights being in the hands of private security companies such as this, or even private individuals, that they have vehicles where they're able to use blue lights?
Commissioner, and it's maybe I must first state on my own career. I'm 43 years a policeman, and when I started, I first was in South African Police Service, and then in Pretoria Traffic, Benoni Traffic, and then Ekurhuleni Metro Police. When I started as a law enforcement officer in SAPS, it was still high risk, but it was easier to do law enforcement because you could use blue lights in the execution of your duties, and the general public would obey it, and there was very, very little issues surrounding that. However, lately it has become just about close to impossible to do law enforcement irrespective of the day or time. Every single citizen, and that includes me, when I'm after hours and it's off duty, is that I'm afraid of blue lights at night and when someone approaches me from behind. The general public is, because blue lights, there's actually even incidences where there's blue light gangs operating. There's a huge criminal element in the country that use blue lights because they impersonate police officers. There is very well known the groups that operate from the OR Tambo International Airport, following people home, robbing them, and that is the largest risk that we have with the illegal use of blue lights by anyone. It doesn't matter who it is. And then the second risk for that as well is it makes the policeman job close to impossible, because a genuine policeman doesn't know if it's a criminal or not a criminal, and he then gets killed. As a normal policeman, you get killed when you try to stop these vehicles and enforce them. And security officers impersonating police officers is one of our largest risks. The regulation on lights on vehicles actually restricts security companies to have a steady white light with their name in black letters on and strobes in the front, only white lights that they can use. It is a known in the world, it doesn't matter who, in the world is blue lights is law enforcement, red lights is ambulance and paramedics, amber or yellow lights is construction work. And therefore, the misuse and abuse of blue lights has become a really scrounge in our country. And it opens the public open to proper crime being conducted against them.
So for all you know, these vehicles with blue lights, the ones that we are talking about now, specific, may well have been used in criminal activities and you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know if those vehicles specifically were used in blue lights, but there has been numerous incidences that I know of where specifically black vehicles and that, but with blue lights fitted, would do robberies, would do truck hijackings, and sometimes you arrest and it's a genuine policeman or a genuine traffic officer or genuine municipal police officer that is a criminal, but majority of the time it is impersonating police officers using blue lights or impersonating traffic or municipal police officers.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr.
I just want to ask the prohibition against the use of blue lights. Does it apply even where the municipality has given permission, or even where SAPS has given permission? Is it your evidence that the municipality, Empd, cannot give permission to a security company or a private citizen to use blue lights, and that's the law?
Commissioner, the law is very clear that states there's under correction, I think it's Regulation 179. It states very clearly that only South African Police Service, Municipal Police Service, traffic officers and the SANDF military police may use blue lights. There is a sub-clause where, and I still speak about the administrator, but it's the MEC now. You can apply to the MEC for the use of other lights, and then the MEC will consider it and the MEC can do it. But no one else in this country has the authority to authorize the use of lights at all. We as municipalities and municipal polices, we even go further to say, but we restrict it with internal policies and directives to say that even our own officers must use blue lights very circumspect and not just purely for the sake of blue lights.
And if I can follow up perhaps on that conversation with a question, are you suggesting that by right, by law, it has to be that when a civilian sees a vehicle with blue lights, the correct assumption must be it's SAPS or SAPS related, security related, and it's official? Is that what the lights are intended to
Commissioner, not security related. I won't go that far.
Okay.
It will be related to law enforcement.
That's what I was looking at.
Only police, traffic, or military police, or municipal police, not security related. Public must think it's a policeman, and the policeman is giving an instruction to either move out of the way because I'm responding if I use it together with the siren, or the public must pull off because I want to do law enforcement and the public has done something wrong. That must be the only assumption when blue lights is being used and sirens.
So, are you suggesting that the risk with placing blue lights in the vehicles that you dealt with in that list is that a normal citizen, when confronted with such a vehicle using the lights, will assume that it's a law enforcement vehicle, and it could very well be abuse of those lights and therefore somebody else involved in criminal activity?
Correct, Commissioners.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Maybe lastly on this, Commissioner, how easy is it to get or to buy these blue lights? Can I just walk into a shop that sells blue lights and I don't need anything, and they will sell them to me?
Correct, Commissioner. Blue lights, the sale of the lights itself is not prohibited in South Africa at all. You can buy it in just about any shop that you can walk in. You can buy it. It is maybe one of the limitations of our system that we have, where the restriction on selling of these lights should be prohibited, and it should only be sold to law enforcement officers. But you can buy it anyway. You can find it in any electronic shop that sells lights. You can buy these lights.
Well, I was going to ask, isn't it an area that should be considered for reform? That there should be some legislative changes about the accessibility and ease of getting these blue lights.
I agree with you, Commissioner. It should be restricted that even the import and the sale of these vehicles should be restricted to law enforcement only.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm tempted to lead you into an area of conjecture based on the conversation you've just had with Commissioner Baloyi. And I'm trying to resist the edge, but nonetheless I'll give into it. Commissioner, with your experience of 43 years in the police service, if you were to be asked to express a view on how prevalent you consider the abuse of blue lights to be in the country, would you be able to express a view? How big has the problem become in your view, based on your experience of 43 years? Are you able to formulate a view?
I can, Commissioner. Even in the period that I was stating earlier that I acted as the caretaker for the internal affairs for Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department, a very large amount of the internal affairs, disciplinary inquiries and misconduct that was raised to us relates to members of the public that allege that officers have impersonated police officers. They've been pulled off by blue lights and that. It's prevalent for the last, I want to say 6-7 years. It started to be prevalent and it become critical where we are now. It even reached a state where I myself wouldn't even want to pull a vehicle off to do law enforcement because I'm driving an unmarked vehicle and that. It becomes very difficult to do law enforcement because the member of the public, it can lead to a situation where I'm a genuine police officer, I'm an honest police officer, I'm doing my work. The member of the public is afraid and scared and he drives away because he doesn't want to stop because of the risk. And I could believe that it happens, simple mistakes can happen. A vehicle could be wrongly registered when you buy a vehicle. You buy the vehicle and your dealer that sells the vehicle to you makes a mistake in the registration number and they swap 2 digits around when they make the registration plate. And you can drive home, brand new car, and you drive home and an officer drives behind you and he does an inquiry on you on the radio. And they say it's a black Mercedes, but you're driving a white Audi. And now the officer tries to stop you because it's a false plate in his mind. And you're a citizen. You will immediately try to get away from him. If you get away and the officer believes it's a false plate, he most probably will shoot you and you will die. And afterwards there will be obviously inquest and everything. And the other way around it works as well. So it's one of our biggest risks as law enforcement officers, having rogue blue lights available and being misused, especially by criminals. And just about every single day, if you open a newspaper today, if you speak around the Braai in South Africa, doesn't matter where you are, every single person, be it male or female, complain about the after hours stopping at the red light. We disobey traffic lights because of the risk. When I see a police officer or a blue light, I don't know if it's a hijacker or that. So it is a massive risk in our country.
Please state for the record the reverse that you referred to. Just articulate that for the record, please. Remember, you said you as an officer are following a motor vehicle and there's an issue around the registration plate or registration numbers, and you may end up shooting the driver. And you said the reverse may also happen, and then you just went on. So I'm just saying, for the record, please articulate the reverse.
Okay. The reverse could be that the member of the public actually do stop for that, but it is a criminal. And then the member of the public will be hijacked or kidnapped. So that is the reverse risk of, it's a genuine police officer doing his job and there's a mistake, administrative mistake, and the reverse of that is where it is a hijacker, it is a criminal who stops that person and then actually hijack, kill, kidnap, and that is the reverse of that, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Commissioner, leave aside cat protection services. We heard from Chief Mapiaya earlier this morning that Empd or the Ekurhuleni Metro has MOUs or a lawful relationship with other security companies. And I think we were given a list of 10. Do those security companies that have a lawful relationship with Ekurhuleni use blue lights for their vehicles?
No, Commissioner. So the city itself goes into a legal tender process and a contract basis to safeguard and protect their property and perform access control. So it is static security at cities' infrastructure, substation, parks and buildings. So the contract with the 10 is also, it's a SLA in that term, so it's a contract that you sign with them in terms of the MFMA Act. You enter into a tender for a 3-year period, and then there's a SLA signed with that company. In terms of that contract and the specifications in terms of that contract, it is to provide static guard duties and protect council's property and perform access control in terms of the Public Access Control Act. There's no clause anywhere. We will, even to our contracted security, will be able to override the Act and give them permission to use blue lights. They may not use blue lights at all.
Thank you, Commissioners. Before you leave that topic, I guess for my own safety considerations, I have to ask you these questions. What do you, Commissioner Spies, do in the night when an unmarked vehicle with blue lights or switches on its blue light when you are driving in a bid to communicate to you? What do you do as an experienced police officer? And I might as well ask my next question, what do you advise I do when I'm confronted with that situation tomorrow?
Commissioners, I cannot give you legal advice.
No, it's not legal advice, Commissioner. It's staying alive advice.
Commissioners, the first thing, because I'm such an old police officer, if I do see blue lights behind me, I obviously shift, even if it's a criminal, I shift out of the way that he can come past me. That's the first thing that I will do.
Sorry, may I qualify that it's flagging you down to stop?
But if he starts to flag me down, I will slow down to a slower speed, and I will then indicate through my window, open the window and say, indicate, follow me. And I will then drive to one of two public places, depending upon where I am at that moment in the country. If I know the area and I know where police stations are, I will drive to a police station. Slowly follow him without making sudden any direction changes or accelerating speed, because that will make the situation much worse. So I will request the policeman or whoever's behind me then to follow me to a police station. If I don't know the area, I will then drive to a well-lit, something like a fuel station where there's lights, cameras, people around me which can record everything that will happen. But I will still request him to follow me. I will not stop at the moment. Even I, as a trained officer, I'm fortunate maybe as well that I'm armed and I do carry firearms with me, so I can, if there is something, I will try and defend myself. But the first, and that's what I will also advise, is that show the officer that you are obeying, but that you want to be going to a safe area. But it's a very difficult situation for both sides.
Indeed. Thank you, Commissioner. You had referenced and marked as RS 4 and 5 the videos that the journalist Jeff Weeks had shared with Lieutenant Colonel Tepa, who forwarded them to you. I think we have located the videos and we are able to play them. We'll play both, not necessarily in the order that we have marked them as RS 4 and 5. So we'll play the first and then the second. Thank you.
Commissioners, that is the first video from inside the car.
Just to check, does this particular video have a sound or?
It does have sound.
Does. Can we perhaps try again? Or someone is coming to our assistance there.
Commissioners, when it starts, you will see the flash of the lights in the windscreen portion as well.
I think, Ms. Mutasi, I suggest you to play it again. Okay? She must. Thank you for the. Now that was recording 1. We are going to try and retrieve recording 2 and play that as well. Apologies. Yes, Commissioner.
Maybe Commissioner can just indicate in the video that we have just seen, the blue light, because it's facing outside, those of us who have experienced them, they are flashing outside, so they're not flashing inside. So the first 3 seconds of the video, you can actually see the flash.
Correct, Commissioner. The blue lights is like reflecting against the windscreen, and on the middle center console, which is plastic, you can see, and also against the road traffic signs, you can see the lights flashing against it.
Would you like to satisfy yourself by watching it again, Commissioner? Okay. Yes, Commissioner Baloy?
Yeah. The paragraph says that you hear a female voice in the background identifying herself as Mama Cat, and then I think somewhere, either in the Commissioner Mapiane's statement or somewhere here, it says she's in fact the wife of Mr. Matala. I don't know if I missed the sound where she says Mama Cat.
Perhaps I can verify through Commissioner Spies.
Yeah.
Commissioner, you saw on your statement at paragraph 13, with reference to the first video clip, you say a female voice in the background identifying herself as Mama Cat. Do you see that?
Yes,
Now,
Commissioner.
just to check, is the video we just watched, is that the video where we can expect to hear the person identifying themselves as Mama Cat?
In this video clip that is on here, it is it's from Instagram, and then at the bottom you'll see there's captions on the screen itself that is like identifying what is being said. So at the bottom it will say, or the top it will say Cordelia, I think Kabeng, and then at the bottom it will say the words on the screen itself that you can hear, because the siren is overpowering in this portion of the clip. So maybe if it's slowed down when you show the video clip.
Advocate Mukasedi suggests that you are demanding too much of a lawyer to do what you are suggesting.
Commissioners, maybe if I can assist, when you show the video clip on the bottom right-hand side, there's something that will say ×1. That could most probably be changed to ×half, or which will make it slower.
Okay, well, she's going to give it her best shot. We'll see where it lands us. We're going to try. Thank you.
And the writing you are referring to, Commissioner, would that be subtitles or what writing would this be?
It's on the screen itself, Commissioner. I presume it's the subtitles that runs along with the video.
All right, thank you.
We might just report success. So let's try. We're not projecting. Okay, she slowed it down significantly. If you can then look at the screen and you direct where to read on the screen.
From my side, this one says blue lights, drop off the cups.
Is that...
Oh, the Queen. Yeah.
Stop it.
Blue lights, drop off the Queen and her cups.
Where are you reading? Are you reading at the top of the...
in the middle of the screen,
in the
where,
middle.
where the elbow of the passenger is.
Yes. Okay. Then we proceed. Yes. We are going to we're going to drop the sound because there's no one speaking, it's just music, so that Commissioner Spies can take us through this video.
Yes, there it's clear now on the back side of the seat. It says blue lights to drop off the Queen and there's just an N and her cups.
Yes. Keep playing. Okay, it would appear there is nothing further added there. I want to refer you to the top of the video. There appears to be some writings there. Are you able to read them for us into the record?
Correct, Commissioners. It's a small avatar of a lady's face with long black hair, and then next to it is Cordelia Kabeng. And it states underneath that, beauty by exclusive _Weinak.
Okay. So then, getting back to your paragraph 13, it is not correct that we hear a female voice in the background identifying herself as Mama Cat. That doesn't come through on the video, correct? Or
Can we just listen to the second video as well?
Okay, let's try the second video and see if it's in that clip.
There's the words Mama Cat and her fleet.
Is it the words printed on the video there as we see on the screen, or are they spoken?
It's the words there on the fleet, which I presumed was the titles as speaking in the background, that she overlaid music over that.
Okay. Can we then I suggest we play this video from beginning to end, and then we can take questions on it. Okay, so the start of this video, there is a female voice that speaks, that utters the words Mama Cat. Is that what you heard?
It's the words on it that says Mama Cat and her fleet.
Okay, then I suggest at paragraph 13, we make a correction to the effect that those words are not spoken, they are printed on the video. Would I be correct to do so?
Yes.
Okay. We shall effect that change. So then we've played the two videos. I don't know, Commissioners, if there are any questions arising therefrom for the witness. Commissioner Malou?
In response to a question by Commissioner Baloy about the registration of the vehicles and whether you could relate the vehicles on the videos to the listed vehicles. If I'm not mistaken, I think you said that the registrations are not showing on the videos. I actually do see a couple of registrations, but of course I could not read any of them. Isn't there a method by which you could have enhanced what's showing on there so as to be able to see the registrations?
Commissioner, I'm surely in today's age there is methods by brilliant people who can do it, but I don't have that skill set. But there should be people that can video enhance, but I cannot.
Thank you.
Commissioner, an observation, and please confirm if I am correct in my observation. It is that those vehicles are on the tarmac of whatever airport that is.
That's correct, Commissioner.
And to get into the tarmac, I know that if I tried to drive to the tarmac, I would fail dismally. They wouldn't allow me to do that. Do you know how it works? Permission is granted by who? Or municipal vehicles with blue lights, when they get to the gate that leads to the tarmac, they are just free to go through? Do you know how it works?
Commissioner, in all my career, I obviously as a policeman, I have sometimes been on the apron on foot and per vehicle and blue lights, but you use blue lights and there's security at the gates and the booms that goes to the tarmac and the apron itself. At larger airports, like the international airports, our Tambo and that, there's actually very large gates and walls which is closed, and if there is entrance to those areas, it's under very strict control from the South African Police Services, VIP Protection Services, and AXA that will allow access to the apron itself. For instance, when the president is collected or ambassador or something like that. Same at Wonderboom Airport, there is access to the apron is very much restricted. To me, it is very suspect. So obviously the blue lights and vehicles was used to drive right up to the aeroplane. Normally you would have parked in the front of the airport and you and your luggage would go through the normal customs and the normal airport procedures. You would not be allowed with the vehicle directly to it.
So someone in the SAPS, VIP or whoever is there, or someone at AXA, if this is OR Tambo, well, I guess even Lanseria, no? Must have allowed it for these people to drive to the tarmac.
Correct, Commissioner, but they could have been conned. So the security at the airport would have stopped them and allowed them, but if they believe it is South African Police Service or that then they would allow them to go past them, but they would have been stopped and allowed to the apron itself.
Thank you.
Commissioner, do you know that this is an AXA-administered airport? I don't want you to make the mistake of assuming that it could have been a private tarmac in a private facility where a private jet is stationed. So don't make the assumption unless you know for a fact that this is.
No, Commissioner, it's as I stated in my statement as well, it's a small airport. And I make an apology if I speak about AXA because we deal at Wonderboom Airport and at OR Tambo we deal with AXA. At Wonderboom it's our control.
We don't want to get AXA into trouble
No.
and bring them to this commission.
Sorry, I'm not implicated AXA at all. No.
With that clarification, still ask my question. Does it work differently, access to the tarmac? Is it free driving through if in the smaller airports?
No, it's not. If you look at Wonderboom Airport is controlled by the City of Tshwane and access to the apron is restricted. It's closed off, there's boom gates and security at the airport will restrict access as well to that. It's not allowed at, but it could be a private airport. I don't know. I cannot determine which airport this is. If it is a private airport, for instance, like Fly in Ekurhuleni, that is between houses, then it would be allowed to go there because the estate itself would be under control of that. But under public aspiration when it's airport like Lanseria or Wonderboom or OR Tambo, then it will be restricted by the security at those specific airports.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Commissioners. In response to a question by Commissioner Baloyi about the vehicles parked on the apron next to the aeroplanes, you suggested that perhaps the security could very well have been conned. My question is, and if that is the case, you wouldn't know how. My question is whether what is the possible effect of driving towards the security point to get onto the apron and the blue lights are on? How is that likely to be interpreted by the security guard?
Commissioner, if you approach the security officers and you have blue lights and sirens going, the security will, most of the time, they will open the gate because they will believe it's the South African Police Service that approached them. The risk for that as well, especially even at airports like these, that flight could have transported anything in and out of the country. It could have had drugs, it could have had kidnapping, it could have been trafficking, human trafficking on that. So airport restrictions becomes a very large risk as well. But approaching the gate and a boom gate with blue lights and sirens, the airport security will most of the time think it is police officers and they will open the gates for them.
And possibly salute as the car drives past.
Now, the security don't salute us. We salute one another, but not they salute us and we salute them, Commissioner.
Sorry,
yes.
So, from what you've just said now, the blue lights in the way.
Correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioners. Let's then have a look at Jeff Wick's original email at page 2 of your bundle of annexures, RS21, Roman 1. In the fourth paragraph of that email, Jeff Wicks writes as follows: 2 videos from the social media page of Cordelia Kabeng, wife of Vusimusi Matala, the owner of the aforementioned company, have been sent to you via WhatsApp. Do you see where I'm reading?
Correct, Commissioners.
A question for you. I appreciate it's Jeff Wicks saying that these are obtained from social media page of Cordelia Kabeng, who's the wife, according to him, of Vusimusi Matala. First, at the time you were dealing with these videos, did you know who Cordelia Kabeng is?
No, Commissioners.
Do you know today as we sit here who she is?
From media, yes, but still don't know her. But I have seen that she's the wife, allegedly, of Vusimusi Matala. But at that date, I didn't know any of the 2.
Then you didn't know either of the 2?
Yes.
And today, do you know who Vusimusi Matala is?
Correct, Commissioner.
And who do you know it to be?
He is the director or owner of the CAT VIP security firm. And since 2022, his name also popped up in that he procured Medicare 24 as a subsidiary. And they have tenders with the South African Police Services, which was cancelled in the meantime. And he has also been arrested and is currently in prison awaiting trial for an attempted murder matter. But that I only know from news, from the media.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Chair, it's 15:57. I'm going to a new topic. Would you like me to start?
Let us adjourn and resume at 9:30 on Monday.
Thank you, Chair.